And we're live. Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Let's get this money. I'm excited. I'll wait till everyone gets in here. We'll get to the Patreon questions. We'll get some guests on. Prop video now up. My bad being a little bit late on that. What's up, Juicy? Yeah, man, always great to be here on a Friday. This is a tradition. So I appreciate you guys always coming on here because there's lots of entertainment to do on a Friday night. I know a lot of you guys play poker, especially my DGen. So always an honor to have you guys with me tonight. What's up, BNT? Washington No Names. Yeah, and they've been doubting the no names all year. And even me, like, you guys remember, since like week 3, I'm like borderline money pick. Next week, borderline money pick. Every single week, they were borderline money pick. And then we finally went hard on Patreon. I told you guys to unload, and that felt good. And I know it was only a 5-point victory, but they damn near dominated the game. And we got a lot to talk about with the Commanders this week. You guys aren't going to like it. A lot of people on Patreon did not like the Commanders against the Giants last week, and I get it. I get it. You guys aren't front runners, natural contrarians. That's how you make money doing this. But this Commanders team is special, and even I was a little bit cautious with them, and I was seeing it on film. The data is awesome from them, and everything's awesome from them. Eye test, data test, whatever thing you want to roll up into. I just was always borderline money pick, and then finally we unloaded last week, and it felt good. So great to see you guys. What's up, JJ? What's up, Ron? What's up? What's up, Casper? Left you for about 3 years, brothers. In the clink, I'm back out and back with you. Money, money, money. Some people watch me from prison, so I don't know. The country's kind of out of control, man. Glad to have you out. Glad you broke out of them shackles. It felt good for us to bust out of the shackles and hit 3 massive bets last week. It's been a crazy year, man. Last week just felt like the old days. Us just hitting big bet after big bet, going hard. Fuck your units. Us putting the chips in the middle of the table and going. That's what I like. So glad you're free, man. Hopefully you make the best out of this opportunity. But I actually have a lot of people in prison who watch the videos, which, it's like even my dad supports that. So there's a lot worse things you can get into in prison. What's up, Prestige? Yeah, drive safe, man. Drive safe. I'm sure there's some people on tilt on the roads right now. What's up, Jarrett? What's up, Jarrett? I saw you celebrating on Instagram. Let's not go into it. What's up, Cal's? Cal's, great to see you, man. Great to see you. You got a good question. Just wait until everyone gets in here. I watch you from prison. I've been married for 30 years. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. You guys got me scared getting married. It's not that bad. I mean, it's not that bad. Come on, man. But I'm only 3 years into it. So maybe, JJ, I'll get back to you when I hit like year 15. Jesus, man. That's grim. What's up, Pound? What's up? I mean, your 49ers this week. That's an interesting bet, man. I mean, I think we should probably be teasing it. But, the old days, remember the college fund last year when we got the Niners -3 at the Jags? It's just not the same Niners team. You're low on them. I'm low on them. We've been right about them the whole year. Although Shanahan off a bye week, I know everyone's trying to scare me about Tomlin against the Commanders off a bye week, but I think Shanahan off a bye week against Todd Bowles. And speaking of Todd Bowles, if this game is close, do you trust him to make a good decision? He needs to go read some game theory. I mean, can we talk about what happened on Monday night? And I'm not even beating my chest. I just picked the Buccaneers to cover by default. Felt like they played good. Felt like they should have played the game. I felt like they should have won the game, which I didn't see coming. Jarrett Hart was calling that all week. But Todd Bowles really needs to go read game theory because he knows schemes, he knows football, he knows technique. I'm not questioning him, but the fact he doesn't know how to do game theory like a 13-year-old playing Madden would have managed that game better. That's what's concerning about it to me. And I think that's going to lead to a drop off on the team. Like I said, like Cohen's been one of the best offensive coordinators in this league, at least top 5 for me. He's working magic. Baker's battling, and Todd Bowles just let the team down. Like, you guys know what I mean by game theory, right? Um, and I'm not trying to get too high level here, but like seriously, like a 13-year-old playing Madden would know how to manage that game better. Am I wrong, guys? What's up, Kiovang? Yeah, Jarrett, like you were calling it the whole week. It's just Todd Bowles. Like I said, he's not a bad coach at all. Like I said, he knows he's one of the best schemers in the league. But firstly, he can't get that defense to improve. Okay. Secondly, Baker's battling, Cohen are battling. They're up against all odds. They're against an avalanche of bullshit, all the bad luck going their way. Chiefs on a primetime game with all the Swifties watching, yet they're battling and probably should win the game on the road at Arrowhead, one of the toughest places to play, even if you take out the Zebras, which we can't at this point. And I'm not even want to talk about the refs, but like, so you're like against all, like there's 15 guys on the field and you got 11 and you got Godwin and Mike Evans in street clothes, and Todd Bowles doesn't understand football to the degree of a 13-year-old with a PlayStation 5 controller. That's sickening. And he's letting those guys down, man. It's absolutely disgusting. It just needed to be said. Like, I didn't have much time to get into it. I went into it on the over-under video because I just needed to get that off my chest. What's up, Campbell? What's up, Angela? What's up? What's up, Sergeant Juice? What's up, man? I'm ready to get this money. No, Jarrett, you're right. The offense is doing tremendous things. And who would have thought Tampa would have like a top 10 run game this year? That's what surprised me. And I have to eat crow on Baker. This isn't regression. He's just he's battling. Like it's been fun to watch. What's up, Joe? What's up, Joe? What's up, King Justin? Always great to see King Justin. Yeah, it's just, you guys know what I'm saying about Bowles. Like, it was the same thing with the Jets, and he's had so many opportunities in close games, and he just doesn't learn. And I just feel like there's a lot of coaches like that. Like, I don't know about you guys before I get into the Patreon questions. I agreed with Zach Taylor's call last night to go for 2. I had no problem with that. Because I'm not going to second guess a coach. Same thing with Dan Campbell. I didn't second guess him against the 49ers. But we even saw it with Shanahan against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Like, a lot of you guys disagreed with me, but there was a time when the 49ers were in the red zone and they should have went for a touchdown. And you have to understand, you got Mahomes on the other side. You're not playing Sam Darnold on the other side. And sometimes these coaches just, they don't understand football to the degree of like a 13-year-old with a PlayStation 5 controller. And it's kind of concerning. Like, we live bet. So we might watch more football than these coaches. And I'm not being dramatic. Like, yes, they go watch the game on tape, but we got $5,000 in play with 4 games coming down to the wire. It's just a little bit different, and I think they lack that perspective. Yo, Specs, I kind of agree with you, man. Like, I kind of agree with you. And what's up, Specs? I missed your WhatsApp messages, man. But yeah, man, Zach Taylor's kind of lost control of this situation. Giants, Panthers under 40.5. What's up, Johnny Guns? Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough, man. It's tough. Going Panthers under is never a bad thing. I am curious though, how well both teams run the ball. No, I'm not styling it. I tried to cut it down, but bad angles. So, yeah, no, Chris, I would just say like parlays. I mean, I would say teasers are a lot better than parlays, but they were hitting them on Discord last night. So, all right, let me get to the Patreon questions. And we got to talk about some injuries tonight. I'll bring up the list. Let me just bring up the injury list. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me get to NFL injuries week 10. Yeah. Let me just break because there were some injuries I wanted to touch on. So I just want to have evidence. Um, it is looking like Trevor Lawrence is out. Like sometimes you guys scare me. Like you guys say players are out when they're not out. But yes, Trevor Lawrence, it looks like he's going to be out. Um, yeah, I think since he should have won, but you know, I mean, like that game was kind of like what I said it would be. Like Ravens getting penalized to death in the first half, and then we saw like the end of that game. So we saw. I wouldn't count anyone out. Like I'm not counting the Jets and Dolphins out. Like I might count Cincy out because their defense, but I'm not counting the Jets and Dolphins out. I know that's like popular to like just get over dramatic and count teams out, but I'm not counting anyone out. AFC is really strong though. In the NFC, like if it was an NFC, I could actually see like Dolphins, Jets, like easily making the playoffs. AFC is a little bit of a different animal though. All right, let's get to the Patreon questions. Um, let's get to Jerome. Let me start from the people who left it first. We got a lot of questions tonight, so let me just get to them, and then we'll get some guests on. Okay. Jesus. Okay, yeah. And shout out to everyone who's on Patreon, link in the description. If you want to get in the Discord, um, sign up for the executive tier. You're not getting anything special in the Discord. It's just us strategizing and a lot of guys hitting parlays. I don't know how they're doing it. Okay. Really liking this is from Dakota. What's up, Dakota? Really liking Atlanta and Washington College Fund in Washington, boss. Well, I wouldn't say college fun, but I mean, last week was a week where I wanted you to go hard on Washington. I just have respect for Mike Tomlin, but I think the Steelers defense is overrated, and I think the Commanders are still trending up. I can't ask anyone to go hard on that game though. But I most likely will be betting the Commanders or the no names, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, man, I'm not swayed on it. I think I might be auto betting the Commanders every single week for the rest of the year, unless there's a serious injury to Jaden Daniels, because I think they're trending up, and I think the Marshawn Lattimore trade outside of Zay Smith for the Lions was the best move of the trade deadline. It was nice to see some trades, kind of like had like some MLB vibes. Warren Flowers, Falcons, Eagles, Washington. Those are some of my favorite bets to put in. Thanks, John Moneyman Lawson, for all your insights into the games. No problem, Warren. No problem. I can't disagree with any of them. The Falcons one I've been going back and forth with all day. I'll tell you that. So still making my decision on that one. Iron City Jazz, not a question, just a statement. Steelers row Washington. Love you, bro. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. But I felt like we sucked a lot of milk out of that Steelers rock, even if that's possible. I felt like we hit that college fun week 3 against the Chargers, but I'm kind of out on the Steelers. Like, I think they're pretty overrated this year, and I don't think the defense is what people think it is. Like, look at how Joe Flacco and Anthony Richardson absolutely teared it up. And I want to ask you a question, Iron City. What good quarterbacks have the Steelers faced? They faced Herbert, but Herbert was on one fucking leg, and the Chargers ran the ball 65% of the time. What's the other good quarterback they played? They played Dak Prescott, and Dak absolutely ate them. Yes, they were able to force some turnovers, but Aaron Rodgers actually ate them alive as well. And they were, and the Jets offensive line, we know they have struggles. They were able to deal with TJ Watt. So I just don't think the Steelers team is what everyone thinks they are. And listen, we were betting them, and that's fine. But I'm off. I'm off of that. But I'll let you do it, Iron City. And aren't you a Steelers fan? Jack Chandler. Jets money line, vintage Rodgers. I agree. It's just I'm in a tough position, man, because I lost subscribers over the Jets this year. So, like, I can bitch about the algorithm all I want, but some of my Rodgers and Stroud glazing this year really bothered people and rubbed them the wrong way. But even if I post a Jets bet and I like say sunk cost fallacy, people are still going to get mad. But I mean, it's called gambling for a reason. So you'll see what I do, Jack. Jack. Finally, you're on fucking Patreon. This is where you belong, bro. Richard Lockhart. I like San Francisco Chargers, Chiefs, Minnesota moneyline parlay. Got a few player props already. Let's get this money, John. Can't wait for the live show. Money, money, money. Yeah. What are you doing with the Chargers? Are you going with the spread? What did you guys think? I want to see what the chat thinks of this. Did you guys view it as like a positive or negative that we're getting Will Levis? A quick shot Will Levis, if anyone saw that video during the offseason. I don't think anyone saw it. You guys don't get the joke. But yeah, I actually view Will Levis as more of a negative than Mason Rudolph. So I think Chargers cover. I just think we should just tease that. Chiefs to cover. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that's a teaser option, and I feel like there's a lot of other meat on the bone. Wade Ford, let's start with those Ravens and Bengals. Wow, what a game. It was a fucking good game on Thursday night. I agree. Lawson, is there a path for the Bengals to make it to January football? I mean, yes, but AFC's tough. Like I would like lean towards Dolphins, Jets making more of a run. They play the Steelers twice, Chargers, Browns. It's tough to see them beating the Chargers, man. KC better stay hot and keep that 1 seed. Well, KC's schedule's so easy, man. I think KC plays the Bills and they play the Chargers again, and maybe the KC plays the Steelers. I mean, man, like KC's got an easy schedule this year. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, and also like, and also about the Chargers, like, it's like I don't think I'll be betting the 7.5, but also I was very confident about them covering against the Saints, and I felt like we left money on the table there, not doing it. I respect this Titans defense, but how much fight does this Titans defense have left? I mean, that's really the question. We need to get in the psychiatrist chair. Dude, yeah, Jocelyn, I think Chargers get a wild card spot, and I think they're going to be a fucking problem in the playoffs. I mean, if I don't know why Harbaugh didn't want to get another wide receiver, but if like Ladd McConkey and Johnson are healthy, I still feel like they're a dangerous team. It's just, I feel like the Chargers need another wide receiver, even if they had like a number two, like even if they had like a number two, like a Noah Brown that the no names have, just someone else to give Herbert a chance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Herbert's playing so good right now, and the Chargers offense is evolving. So and their defense is so good. Their front seven is so good against the run fits. Like, when was the last time we saw a Chargers team stop the run? Thank you for the question, Wade. Brian Webb, I can't wait until the Collins show tomorrow. My Bengals had that 2 point if the Zebras had did their job. Yeah, I mean, I got too much to say about that. It's just, man, Zebras were heavily involved. They need to make a choice. Either they keep the flags in or they call everything. And they were in two minds last night, and I'm just not with them. Brianna Martinez. Hey, Brianna. Hey, John. Thoughts on these parlays? Trying to pick one. Jets money line, Steelers +3, Chiefs -6, Bills -3.5, Niners -6, or Vikings -7, Chiefs -6, Bills -3.5, 49ers -6. Well, can we bring the Chiefs down a little bit more, because we don't know if they're going to pussyfoot around? Yeah, I would take the Steelers off. I don't see a path forward for the Steelers in that game. I would add the Chargers to that first parlay. I would take the Steelers off, and I would move the Chargers down. Like, yeah, man, I would go with the first one, the Niners -6, Bills -3.5. Give me the Chargers instead of the Steelers. But I would move some of them down and go more money line because that's going to be hard to hit. You're going to get screwed on one of those. Lawton, what's up, Lawton? Saints are tied for last with 6 other teams. Any chance the Saints put off the season for better draft stock? I think so. Like, yeah, I kind of agree about Rizzy. I think he's going to bring some toughness to the team, but also the team's banged up and injured. Like, you got Olave, you got Shaheed out, you got offensive linemen banged up. We don't know when McCoy's coming back. Once McCoy went out, it felt like the whole offensive line was absolutely in decay. So, like, I guess, like, he can pump them up. I guess there's going to be a little bit of a new coach bounce, but there's only so much you can do when the whole team's fucking injured and the team's already old. And I guess you got Kamara, but I don't know, man. That's not something I want to bet on. I would say Saints might end up with the draft pick. I actually think the Panthers are getting better. So it's tough, but the Saints should probably tank. But Saints aren't a well-managed team, man. Like, they've been in cap hell for 6-7 years, and they refuse to rebuild. I've been asking for them to rebuild for 3.5-4 years, and then they lulled everyone into such a submission because they won a few games this year. IMG333. Hey, Lawson, hope all's well. What are your 2 favorite overs of the week? Currently, I'm teasing these 3 down. Vikings, Jags over 38. Eagles, Cowboys over 37. Don't do the over 37 in the Eagles, Cowboys. Don't. I think that's the best under of the week. Like, you got Cooper Rush. Like, I don't know. I think Eagles, Cowboys was my favorite under of the week. Jets, Cards over 40. Yeah, I would actually go. You got 2 of my favorite over-unders on it, but you're going the opposite of me on the Eagles, Cowboys. And Jets, Cardinals, I would alt that up to like 48.5. Like, because I think the Jets get to 27 and 30. And we know the Cardinals, even if they struggle, they're going to be able to manufacture points. So, like, I see the Jets getting to 27 alone. So the Cardinals are a team, yes, they're inconsistent, but they're a good dance partner. Let me go look at maybe one of the other over-unders I like. You actually hit on 2 of them I liked. You were just going the other way. I also like Johnny Gunn's idea of under in the Panthers-Giants games, but both of those defenses aren't playing good football right now. I also like the over in the Steelers-Commanders. What else did I like? Vikings, Jags. I just with Matt Jones, I think that's a little bit too it's a little bit too much for me. Like, I would just take that one off. Okay. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Kane Anthony Suarez sounds $10. Thank you, my man. Thank you, my man. I appreciate it. Rob France, what do you think about Carolina plus 6.5? Well, I've been talking about it the whole week. I don't want to bet the spread in the Carolina game. I want a sprinkle on the money line. I know that's more like soccer betting theory, but you guys like parlay, so like, why can't I pitch a money line instead of a minus 110 spread? Like, give me like the plus 290, give me the plus money, give me all the juice. But yeah, like, it's the same thing that I said about, like, for instance, like I when I've been picking long shots, like when I picked the Browns against the Ravens, like I like the Browns money line more than I like them against the spread. Does it make logical sense? It does if you're inside of my brain, because we don't know what Panthers team we're going to see. And obviously the Giants are better than the Panthers. I just think you guys are overrating the Giants a lot. Vic, I'm great tonight. I'm great tonight. Yeah, dude, the field conditions are terrible. Like, but also sometimes these field conditions like lead to like skates like Brazil. Wade Ford sends a $20 super chat. Thank you, Wade. I hope you won big last week. So hopefully that's not hurting your pocketbook too much. Thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate it, bro. Okay, yeah. So IMG, like, just send me another comment for the over unders, so I can think. Like, I'll answer it Saturday if you need some more clarity. The Hound, yo, Lawson, just giving a shout out. Appreciate the time taken to research these picks. Let's get some money this weekend. I think we're going to go hard. I'm curious about your opinion on the 49ers this week. Like, I know Spox, he's been hounding me all week about the 49ers, and I get the theory. I get the theory. I completely get it. Chris Clausell. Hey, Lawson, I got my whole kitchen staff listening to your live call-in shows now, and I have them listening to your YouTube videos throughout the week. Thank you, Chris. I'm also getting my regular customers into the show now also. Seems everyone is on a betting site these days. Let's get this money. Hooters is down with the Lawson show. I could go for some Hooters wings, man. I got to tell you that I've been making wings at the house, but yeah, man, nothing's like a fucking Hooters wings. You normally like chain stores, like they kind of suck. It's like I'm from like near Buffalo, so like the wings are always fire. But yeah, I could go for some Hooters wings. Maybe an international franchise for Hooters. But yeah, thank you, Chris. Word of mouth's like the best, especially with the way the algorithm's going. I appreciate it, Chris. Quat, I want to parlay Atlanta, Buffalo, and the Chargers. Talk me out of it, bro. Well, Quat, are you teasing those down or are you just going straight? I think Buffalo covers, really like it. That was one. It just hit me Wednesday on Patreon. You already know my thoughts on it. I let you guys know. That one just hit me Wednesday like a fucking boulder. So yeah, I'm with you there. Atlanta, yeah, I'm not trying to overthink it. I think this Saints team is fucking done. And I think people adding caution about the new coach bounce. Like, bro, I fucking created that phrase for the NFL. No one used that before me. Like, yes, I get it. There's a new coach bounce. Like, do we use it for soccer a lot? Yes. Did we use it with Antonio Pierce last year? Certainly we did. I just don't know if this is like the time. Maybe next week. Chargers, yeah. Chargers, yeah. The point spread is complicated. But like I said, I think this Tennessee team's out of fight. I don't know about you guys, but I think they're out of fight. And I also think Callahan and McDonald for the Seahawks and the Titans are the two worst coaches in the league right now. They're the two worst coaches in the league. Jared Mayo's a close third. And I'm not picking on them because they have bad rosters. But that Tennessee roster is really not all that bad. They're just poorly coached. Brandon Campbell. Hey, John, appreciate your expertise and transparency. No problem, man. You had to lock in one team to win. Who would you choose between Will Levis-led Titans at the Chargers, Vikings at Mac Jones-led Jags, Denver at KC? Let's get this money. Okay, are we talking money line? We're talking money line. Give me the Chargers. Although I think Vikings are a lock to win. I can't see Kansas City losing. I think this is the week Denver covers. I told you guys not to do the Denver cover last week, but I do think Denver covers, but I think KC wins. So out of those three, if I had to put my life on the line, I'd probably go the Chargers. I'd go to Chargers. If my life was on the line, money line. This Chiefs team fucks around in games. Like, so we have to keep that in mind. Always learning. Talk me out of Lions minus 6.5 at plus 144. I am aware you picked the Texans in the spread video. Well, tentatively. I don't want to bet it. Like, I don't want to bet the game. I just feel the Lions are a much more complete team and are playing in a dome. Yeah, like, obviously the Lions are better. But don't you guys think you're buying a little bit high on the Lions now? Like, Dan Campbell bought me a car because even last year we were buying low. Like, Vegas had them like 12th in the power rankings, even though they were a top 5 team. Now Vegas obviously has them in the top 3 teams, whether it be data, whether it be eye test, whatever you want it. Maybe, like, don't you think you're buying like the Lions at like the high point? Although I do like the alt line. We need to use more of them. I'm trying to get people to wrap their head around the alt line. But I do like the outline because I do think there's a possibility the Texans just aren't competitive. Their interior offensive line's just not competitive, whether they're getting their ass whooped physically against the Jets one-on-one or whether they're getting their ass whooped mentally against the Packers where they just can't block a basic zone blitz. And we're seeing Stroud get hit 8-9 times, and people are saying, oh, Stroud, he can't avoid sacks. Well, dude, Stroud's never been a scrambler. Just because he's black, excuse me, doesn't mean he's going to scramble around. Like, Stroud is a pocket passer, and he's not there to scramble around. Yeah, he can roll to the right. He can roll to the right. Like, he doesn't even have like Aaron Rodgers, young Aaron Rodgers mobility. Like, I don't know why people created that Stroud has mobility. But I do think there's going to be a Texans response. It's just, is Nico Collins going to play? And I do think this Detroit defense is a little bit overrated, and I'm the biggest Detroit guy as well. I think the alt line's honestly better than 3.5, if that makes any sort of sense. So, yeah, I'm not fading the Lions. I just don't want to bet it. Like, just don't want to bet it. Because like I feel like you're just buying high on the Lions, and like why buy high when there's teams you can buy medium? Like I think 3.5 on the road is a premium. But I get it. Like you might as well just keep betting it until the wheels fall off. Like I think they've covered like 7 straight games. But they've done this before and people didn't like rally behind them. So I just wonder, like, are we going to see some sort of Aiden Hutchinson miss? Like, I know they got Zay Smith, but I don't know, man. I feel like this defense is overrated. It's just, are we going to see any sort of response out of the Texans? I mean, none of you guys were really surprised. You guys were all with me on picking when we went Jets against the Texans. You guys were all with me. So it just, it didn't mean I was out on the Texans. No, the whole public's on the Lions. Joe, the whole public's on the Lions. And fuck what the Sharps think. Sharps have always been against the Lions. I mean, I'm sure everyone's just betting the Lions. Like, I'm sure like the bet split has to be 80%. Just don't think it's fundamentally sound. Yeah, I agree. Like Houston's struggling, man. I do want to see Houston's run defense that game, though. Justin Mann, what is your opinion of this 6-leg, 7-point teaser? What's up, Justin? What teams would you remove or change? Plus 450 odds. Bills -4 to +3. Well, I can't say I love like bringing them to +3 because for me, teasers mitigate worst case scenarios and you're landing on a key number. Like, you're landing on the +3, but yeah, I guess I think the Bills win the game by 10, so I think you're good. Falcons -3.5 to -3.5 to 3.5. I like that. So you're missing a key number if the worst case scenario happens. That's why I like it. Rams -1 to +6. I don't know. I don't know if the Rams would be on my artillery list this week. I think the Dolphins smoked their ass. But +6, yeah. I mean, +6 is fine. Jets -2 to +5. Love that. Eagles -7.5 to half a point. I love that. I guess the only one I have qualms with is the Rams. Yeah, dude, you already commented in your post. You already said like you got questions about the Rams. If you got questions, like just throw it off the teaser and throw the Chargers in. Or throw the Chiefs in, as dirty as that sounds. Nicholas Vincent. Hi, John. Thank you for all the great picks. No, thank you for getting on Patreon, Nick. Do you think the 49ers money line plus Chargers money line is a big bet parlay? 49ers coming off a bye week and CMC is back and Tampa on a short week. Dude, I love that. I love that. I'm going to post 2 teasers this week, so those games are on my list. Like I know Specs is like hammering me to bet the 49ers with the 6. Like, and I think he wants to get against Bulls. I had a little rant on Bulls to start the show. Like that he needs to like go read a book on game theory. So even if it's close, like let's say Tampa Bay covers, I can't see them winning. And like you said, like I think Tampa might have blown their load. That's just me though. Derek, hey John, if you had to take off one game on the 7-point teaser, which would you take off, if any? Thanks as always. Buffalo +3, KC minus a half a point, San Fran plus a half a point, Philly +0, Detroit +3.5. I would just take off Buffalo +3 because you're landing on a key number. I mean, why not just throw the Chargers on or get better odds and go Buffalo money line? I just don't like landing on a key number when we're doing teasers. It probably won't be important because, like I said, I think Buffalo wins by fucking 10 points. I think Buffalo smokes their ass. And one thing I posted on Patreon, and I'm not a stat guy, but I was also seeing this. And one thing Specs was right about in the comment section, and here's a stat, what Specs was saying. He wasn't saying exactly this, but he kind of came to this conclusion, and I agree. When you look at the Colts, so here's my concern about the Bills, guys. And they still should have covered against Miami, even though Tua and McDaniel were absolutely brilliant. They still should have covered against Miami, but listen, we made a lot of money. I'm not going to bitch. So here's a stat that's relevant. When Anthony Richardson is playing, even without Jonathan Taylor, Colts are averaging 5.2, 5.3 yards per rush, which is something they need to do. They have a lot invested in offensive line, and the receivers are kind of trash. When Flacco's playing quarterback, they're averaging 3.2 yards a carry. You guys see what I'm saying? So I was really concerned with what I saw the Bills run defense. I felt like they were poorly coached. I felt like McDermott let us down from a coaching perspective. But yeah, I do think the Bills are going to be better prepared. You got to stack the box against the Colts. And I do think like Anthony Richardson on the bench, I do think he brings a lot to the running game. So yeah, man, that's where I'm at. I hope you guys understood. What's up, Bappy? How's it, my brother? You the man. How's these Falcons, Lions, Bills spread and money line? Okay, Falcons, Lions, Bills spread and money line. Falcons, yes. I think Lions win the game. I like going with that money line better than the 3.5. Falcons, yes. Bills spread. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, man. Let's get this money, bro. And happy, like you're fucking Seahawks, bro. Jesus. Like they gave us a little bit of scare on that giant bet that we had for the Rams, but I don't know. I don't think we got lucky. Some people are saying, oh, Lawson, you got lucky on that Rams one. No, we fucking didn't. Like the Seahawks do that every single game. I've been getting against the Seahawks for a fucking reason. But yeah, man, I don't know what's going on with your Seahawks. Like the McDaniel hire, I actually kind of got excited about it. At first, I didn't like it, but McDonald, my bad, McDonald. I actually got excited about it, but man, it's going bad, man. It's going bad. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Trap Team Lawson, I just want to say I appreciate you more than you know for bringing me on board with the Discord channel. And I'm also on Texans Bounce Back Heavy. Yo, Trap, thank you, man. Like, the Discord's worth its weight in gold. Like, I don't even want to push it because it creates confusion. And I kind of fucked myself not raising the Patreon prices like 4 years. But at least, like, the Discord is a way, you know, it's just to try to get for us to, like, talk. Like, it is a little bit pricey, but in this industry with how much people are charging, like, some of these guys on, like, Vegas Insider charging, like, fucking $100 a bat. Like, yeah, man. And we actually hit bats. Like, But yeah, man, Discord is awesome. We got some nasty motherfuckers on there. Like they're hitting like 18 parlays like on the consistently. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't even try to do it because like that's just not what I'm seasoned in. Okay, here we go. But yeah, man, Trap, I'm happy you're having fun there. I have fun there. So, and I like being able to send voice messages. Andre, hey John, doing a 3 point, 10 point teaser on San Fran +4, over 35 Washington Pitt. I think fucking Washington might get to 30 in that game. Cincy +16, but at 8.15. It always it always takes the bet, but not yesterday. So I replaced with Detroit. Yo, I'm having a hard time understanding this, Dre. Um, yeah, man, I'm having a hard time. Yeah, it's just send it to me again. I'm having a hard time understanding. Having a hard time understanding, man. Marcy. Hey, John, I only use FanDuel and DraftKings for bets. Yeah, most of the people on Patreon are unfortunately straddled with them. Although FanDuel's been having some really good lines this year, so not a problem. Saw a player prop on Discord that I was interested in. Went to FanDuel and discovered some of the games had no rushing or receiving props listed. Read a message from Coop that some player props were still gate capped due to injuries. What does that mean? Because they're vulnerable. Because, okay, let me hype up Coop a little bit. Firstly, the player props the last 3 weeks have been getting drastically harder. Coop went on an all-time tear on the Discord the first 6-7 weeks. Like, anyone who's on Discord, like, guys, like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, Coop was like 27 and like fucking 6, hitting like -110s. He even hit long shots of like +900 for Browns defensive touchdowns. Like, he was hitting everything. So what they're doing on the player props is like, yes, if there's a big game, like if you want to like look at the props for like Finns Rams or a big game, they're going to have them. But a lot of the books, even Bet365, when I'm working on the prop video today, a lot of games just didn't have lines. And that's why I was doing the prop video Saturday. So for instance, there's 14 games this Sunday. I maybe had like 7 games to choose from. I mean, some games had like 1 or 2 lines, and I try to use Bet365 because if I use Pinnacle, a lot of people don't have the lines on there. So, yeah, like that's what they're doing because they got exposed and they're recalibrating a lot. So I'm trying to go for different markets like pass attempts, and that's pretty much what Coop is saying. They're like trying to protect themselves. And let me turn off my air conditioner. I'm freezing. 1 second. But yeah, Marcy, like they're going lazy with it. Like they use injuries as an excuse. But like for instance, like Bet365, like I was trying to bet like Lil Jordan's whatever his name is, Lil Jordan's uh over like 2.5 catches. Like they only listed Cortland Sutton on Bet365. So that's kind of what like Coop's talking about as well. Bets are going to be up at 10:30 Eastern. Prestige, what are your top 3 resources for researching throughout the week? Well, I do like one guy named Judah Fortgang. He's an analytic guy. He's pretty much agreeing with us on everything we've been doing this whole year. Like he's high on Miami like me. He's really high on the Commanders like me. He's really high on the Ravens like me. So I look at some of his resources and I look at the EPA and just to make sure like my eye test isn't getting skewed. Secondly, NFL Game Pass. I watch a lot of the 40-minute games. Like I try to watch every single game this whole year. Sometimes it's challenging. So I try to do that. Thirdly, I will put the Pat McAfee show on in the background. just so I know what's going on with the injuries. But even that's getting a little bit stale this year. So my other resource, I would say, like, just injury reports, ESPN.com/injuries, so we can follow that. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. So, and I just try to watch the games. That's what I do, Prestige. And I talk to you guys too, although sometimes people have been getting me in trouble. Like, you guys hyping up the Giants the whole fucking year really pissed me off. Cows, Lawson, what's up? Which team would you avoid? Jets, Vikes, 49ers, Bills, Miami, and Steelers. Steelers. Avoid them. Avoid them. The rest of them I like. The rest of them I love this week. Just avoid the Steelers. Avoid the Steelers. I could be wrong on this, though. Okay? I could be wrong on this, but I'm just like, you guys remember when I did, if you were in the Patreon in the off season, going into the soccer season, I said, listen, I'm going to bet Marseille every fucking week this whole year. And sometimes you have to make that type of decision. And I kind of made that decision like 4 weeks ago with the Commanders. Until Vegas recalibrates, I'm going to keep doing it. And even if they lose to the Steelers, I'm going to keep doing it. Same thing with the Jets. Shane, Leeds United to hopefully slaughter a low confidence QPR in the EFL Championship. Think it's either to win both halves bet or -2 handicap route. Shane, we're doing something we're doing last week with Leeds. I got a better one than that. We could lay the 2 goals. I don't want to do that. But yeah, QPR's extremely injured. They're down to their 4th choice left back. Fucking their 2 defensive midfielders are hurt. They got their other defensive midfielder playing center back. Leeds is going to tear them up, but I feel like we got a good market to go with. And Leeds at home, it's going to be what we did with Plymouth last week. Watch and see what we do. Leeds allowed a goal in midweek. They didn't look good, but I'm actually happy they allowed a goal. You'll see what I'm thinking, Shane. That's going to be a big bet like it was last week. I think I'm going to just have one soccer once again. So, yeah, unfortunately, you guessed the game I'm going on, but you didn't guess the market I'm going on. Joseph Campbell. Only feeling certain about a few picks. I like Philly, money line, Bolts, money line, and I keep coming up with only 41 points with this Commanders game. I think I like the under. I feel like it might be a home dog week. There's 7 of them. At least 4 will cover or win, I think. I don't know, Joe. I don't know. Like, I think the Commanders defense struggles stopping the run, and if the Steelers can run the ball, they can put up points even with Russell Wilson. Also, I think the Steelers defense is overrated. Like I said, every time they play a good quarterback, they get their ass smoked. Like, look at what Dak Prescott did to them. They just haven't played a lot of good quarterbacks this year. And when they played Herbert was on one leg. Jerome Taylor, what's up, John? We are on fire. I know, we're fuego. What's a good 3-team teaser? Tell Lauren I'm following her. She has won me a couple dollars. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Lauren tonight, but okay, let me just type it to you. Let's go Chargers. Let's go Niners. Let's go Vikings. But there's a lot of teaser options this week. I will be posting one. What's up, Rich? What's up, Rich? Let's get this money. Taurus, 2974. What's up, everyone? Let's get this money. What's up? Okay, Michael Mann wants to come on. If Chris wants to come on, we'll get Lauren on too. Do we bang the Jets money line? Yeah, we're at 1.5 now. So let me think, Jamie. Because that's one like I have to be cautious with because, you know. Okay. Jamie, I've been watching Lawson since 2020-ish. Yeah. You remember the room? You remember the room in my parents' house where I had the drawer that was open. It always bothered you guys. Like, I had like fucking money stuffed in it. There's still money stuffed in that drawer that my parents saved for me. Like, you guys remember, like, the money used to hang out? We had that, like, brown woman bobblehead who was, like, a good luck charm, and then my fucking dog broke her. And then we still used her because she was such a good luck charm. Like, bro, like the run we were on that year, fuck, man. And I was at such a low point. Like I got fired from like 2 teaching jobs in succession. I had to move in with my parents. Like I was at such a fucking low point, bro. And luckily that just happened to me. So like I'm very grateful to you guys. Like, but yeah, you guys ever been at like one of those low points where you're just like, I didn't care. Like, I've never been like an aesthetics guy. Like, my wife, she did the studio. Like, I'm not like an aesthetics person. So, yeah, Chris, I'll send the link on Patreon. 1 second. 1 second. Let me just open the chat. Okay. Alvin, thank you for joining Patreon Executive Club. Hugo, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Vonnie. Okay, let's get to, okay, let me open this. Send a link to Chris. We'll get them all 3 on together. Because there's like one soccer one I need to look at too. Because we might have 2 soccer ones this week. We should really be doing volume in soccer. Like, let's be honest about it. It's just, I don't want anyone doing anything wild on Patreon. Although I opened myself up to something wild with us going hard on 3 bets last week. But no, did anyone take the Jags bet last week? I know no one did. Because that game, like, yeah, like that just summarized the week. It was just that kind of week, man. It was that type of week. Okay, let me get Chris on here real quick. Okay. Fuck, we got a lot of Chris's on Patreon. Let me fuck it. Chris, can you send me a message on Patreon? Oh no, I found you. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, Trap Team, join the Discord. Everyone check out D-Mac Parlays, Coop Parlays, and Johnny Tips and Neon Dion. We be on point and love giving me out great plays. Yeah, dude, D-Mac is a beast. D-Mac is a beast. Like, although, like, I run a filter through his shit. Like, my dad was even on the Discord, and D-Mac was, like, raining baseball tips down. And, like, D-Mac goes for, like, just grand, like, plus 3,000 parlays. But my dad was, like, running them through, like, his shit test, like, and taking the bats and like making them more reasonable. My dad was like banking. So like, yeah, D-Mac is an absolute beast. He's pretty good at NBA. So Cal's Lawson, do we like the Saints? I know they hurt, but they play them tight. Like fundamentally, yes, Saints are good, Cal's, but I'm not going against the Falcons. Like I started this Falcons bandwagon. I'm staying on it. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Chris, what's up, man?
John, how you doing, sir?
Dude, Chris, good to talk to you, man. Let's see what you got to say this week.
Get my volume up here. Well, I got to tell you, this NFL season, okay, the first 3 or 4 weeks were a little topsy turvy, but once we started understanding what this league looks like, and what these teams are all about. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 have been very profitable. I owe a lot of it to you, and a lot of it,
Chris.
Yeah, and a lot of it with my gut feeling too. Just for instance, this week alone, I took a hit on Buffalo, took a hit on Houston. Houston does not like to cover. I know you were talking about Stroud earlier, and he is definitely a pocket passer. He likes to hang in there, and he takes a lot of sacks. He doesn't like to throw the ball away either, which is a problem. And they don't like to cover, so they're a little bit on my shit list. And the Jets, I don't know what Vegas knows about the Jets that we don't know. Like how were they favored against Houston like that?
It's because they think like us, and they don't have peer pressure. Like they don't have people like fucking sending them death threats because, like, for instance, like I posted the Jets like a lot this year, and they don't have pressure. Like sometimes it's good to be fucking anonymous.
Well, they
Like
win when they're not supposed to win, and they lose when they're not supposed to lose. That's what the
look at
Jets do.
people's reaction to me about the Jets. Like it's, but at a certain point, like I know it's money, people get pissed, but if I think a team's good, I think a team's good. Like I think they're good. So
Well, there's money in every game. I mean, there's,
yeah.
I know Lauren likes to say, she will never bet the Dolphins. Well, you can do that, but there's money there. You know what I'm saying? Like I bet the Colts when the Dolphins played the Colts, and I hit. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to play them this week against the Rams, the Rams are really hot right now, but their defense is terrible. I mean, you saw what Seattle did. They were just lobbing balls 30 and 40 yards downfield right into open receivers' arms. There was no coverage. I mean, they're very vulnerable. And the Dolphins' secondary is a lot better than theirs. I don't think, I think it's going to go over 50 also, but I think the Dolphins are going to be on top of that. What are they like? I got them at +1.
Yeah,
And
dude. Like, listen, I was happy with how McDaniels responded against the Bills. Like, I know there's no such thing as moral victory, and I don't necessarily think they should have covered, but then again, they played fucking really good, and it was gutsy. And like, listen, that Rams defensive line was absolutely eating against the Seahawks, but we've been going against Seahawks every week because the offensive line sucks, the coaching sucks, and I just felt like that Rams offense was an issue against the Hawks. Like, so I'm on the Dolphins. So it's just a matter if we bet it or not. I just don't want to. It's like all the smart guys are always on the Dolphins and Jets, and then we look like idiots. But then again, I'm just kind of like digging a trench because, like you said, we've been really good the last 3 weeks, and I want to take some chances.
yeah, like when Tua went down, I laid off him for about 2 weeks to see what was going on. Then when they played the Colts, I played them against the Colts. I played against them against the Colts. The Colts won me that game. But then I took Buffalo against Miami, and then Miami covered. That's when I was like, all right, now the paradigm is starting to change with this team now, and the offense is back. So there's money there. So also, last week 9, Arizona made me money. Detroit made me money, and the Rams covered.
Well, that's what pissed. Can I cut you off? Can I cut you off? That's what pissed me off because there was only one pick on the whole show anyone disagreed with, and it was like the Cardinals against the Bears. Like,
I love that
and
game.
I didn't understand that even at the time. Not hindsight bias, Chris. I just didn't understand why that was like so controversial.
No, I mean I played that straight. I didn't even tease that. There were other games that I teased. I teased the Chiefs. I teased the Vikings and the Chargers last week and hit with those also. So like I said, I took it on the chin with Houston and Buffalo, but I tripled my money with those other 3 wins, the straight plays, and then a couple of teasers. So I mean, like I said, since week 5, I'm rolling. I am hot. And again, like I was putting into the comments before, it's like, how greedy do you need to be? I mean, like you're saying, these guys are playing like these 8-team parlays. And listen, if you're hitting those, that's because you're some kind of clairvoyant. If you're playing any more than a 3-team parlay, you're asking for a loss. Okay, you're not going to hit it. Okay, I mean, even these guys that are professional handicappers aren't even hitting straight bets. And then now you're gonna put 3 of them together and think that that's going to win all the time. It's not. Tease them down. They're giving you points, so you're not going to make a huge payout. You're still going to double your money or time and a half your money. I mean, how greedy do you have to? Do you have to hit 6-1? Do you have to hit 10-1? Why can't the season's supposed to be each week methodical, make money, not bust your load in 1 week, and then you're gonna, because by the time you do that, by the end of the season, you're out of money. Your bankroll is shit. Slow and methodical, win every week, bank it, and at the end of the year, you have a nice bankroll. Go on vacation, get your wife whatever she wants. That's what real true handicappers do. They don't try to just bust their load every week, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm killing it. I'm at $2,300 over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's good, Chris.
From teasing.
Yo, no, dude, the teasing's gonna be good this week. It's just a matter of what I'm gonna do. Like, but yeah, I feel like there's lots of things to do this week. Anything you're looking at this week?
Well, you want to go straight? I love the Bills +4. I got the Vikings in. I'm sorry, the Bills at -4. I got the Vikings early at -4. Now with Lawrence out, it's up to I'm seeing 7 now. And that total on that Vikings Jags game came in at 47. Now it's at 43. I got straight bet at 4 -4 for the Vikings. I'm going to kill that. And let's see, the Falcons -3.5 against the Saints. The Falcons are going to blow them out. I like the Eagles at 7.5. They're giving 7.5 to the Cowgirls. They're going to kill them. And I like the line. I got 3.5 on the Lions versus the Texans, and then I got Miami. I got Miami at 1.5. So I love all those games. And then there are games that I like to tease. Like I like the Commanders, but like I said, that's a game I'm going to tease just to make sure, because to me that's not a shoe-in. Like the games that are shoe-ins, I'm going to bet straight. I know they're going to win. I'll bet them straight. The games that I have an inkling of a doubt, I'm going to tease it, whether it's 3 points, 6 points, eight. Sometimes I'll have 8 teams and I'll do a 10. I'll do 10 at 8, and I'm still hitting them because you're giving 10 points. If you think they're going to win the game, right? If they're -3, and you know they're going to blow them out, then why wouldn't you just give them 6 points?
Got you. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, I think teasers are good. And Sammy, I'm always been in Brazil, but you guys like rewind the clock, so I'm like 2 hours ahead now. So and I'm like closer to Africa than you like think. Like I'm actually like kind of close to like Africa if you think about it. But yeah, like Chris, and I'm just looking at the Dolphins this week, and I don't know about you. You watched that game last week, right? I assume.
Yes, sir.
Um, dude, I feel like Tua has been phenomenal the last 2 weeks. I don't want to get too excited. I'm a little bit concerned. Like, I felt like we had a bad game plan from McDermott. So I don't know. You can give me your opinion on that. But I felt like Tua was cooking. And I felt like they finally found some solutions to the offensive line. They're running it good. And I'm looking at the Rams defensive line like, dude, they're trending in the right direction. But like you said, like, think that Rams secondary you can get at. Rams linebacking core is really weak. So I think like Dolphins can take advantage there. Dolphins defense, like, there's issues. But I'll just say this and I'll let you talk about the game. I feel like, okay, so we saw how great Connor was last week against the Bears, right? And we know the Bears struggle to stop the run, but fair enough. Okay. I feel like the Dolphins front seven is at least good at stopping the run. Can they get pressure rushing forward? No. But I feel like the key to beating the Rams, and one reason why that Seahawks defense stalled that Rams offense last week was because they stopped the Rams running game. And I feel like the Dolphins will stop the Rams running game. So I feel like we're in business unless Stafford goes off. That's where I'm at.
Well, yeah, okay. So Zach Zeeler, I think he's done for the year. We just gave him a huge contract. That's the reason why we let Chris Wilkins go. So now there's a huge hole there. Calais Campbell has been picking up the slack. He's our captain in the middle there, and he's plugging the run. The linebackers have been plugging holes, so we have been doing decent stopping the run. On the other side of the ball, we've been killing it. Achan has been dominant. If you track on fantasy, he's busting out 20-point games consistently, even when we were in the shitter without Tua. The offensive line with Tua back looks a lot better because Tua's getting the ball out under 3 seconds, and when you're getting rid of the ball like that, you make a shitty offensive line look good, and that's what he's doing right now. The receivers are open now. When you look at this game, it's not like LA is going to be going against a weak secondary. I mean, you have Fuller and Ramsey out there. That's a different animal, And then when you have Poyer and Holland draping over and doubling some of these guys, it's going to be a different story. I don't think they're going to have the same type of day where Nakua is just open and all game long. And that Vikings game against the Rams, they were killing me too. I mean, they're playing zone defense in the red zone. The
That's what I'm
Vikings.
saying. And it was an anomaly. And for some reason, the Vikings didn't stop the run that game. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, bro, like, look at how the Dolphins stopped the run against Zona, for instance. And Zona, like, can run the ball. If they run it good, they're good. Same thing with the Rams. I just don't think they're going to be able to run it. Like like I said, I got problems with Anthony Weaver, but I feel like he's doing his best because none of these edge rushers can get pressure. So let's be realistic. But if the Dolphins stop the run, I'm good, man. Like I feel confident. So
It's just, yeah. So with that game, I'm looking to take Miami straight with the win, but I'm also looking to tease the game also, and bring that total down from 50 down a little bit, because I don't know if the Rams are going to be able to score like the Dolphins are going to score. I think the Dolphins are going to win by 10 or 14 points. I know it sounds ridiculous to say, you know what I'm saying? But I just see that happening, and I don't know if 50 is going to work. If because I don't, I don't think Miami's scoring 40. I think they might score 30. But that
no, but
that would.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Chris. This is what I've been saying the whole year because I look like an idiot. But for instance, I still think the Jets and Dolphins are good offenses. And I still think they're better than most teams. And there's only 3 elite offenses in this league. I've been saying it this whole fucking week. It's getting old. But outside of that, I feel like the Jets, Dolphins are in that same category. For me, man, I would take the Jets offense over the Chiefs right now, as crazy as that sounds. And I still think this Dolphins offense has pop. So that's where I'm at, man. Like I'm excited for the game. But I hope we get a good Monday night game like we did the Thursday night game, by the way.
I mean, the Dolphins' defense. I mean, offense hasn't changed. It's still good. I mean, you got your quarterback back. I mean, with Tua down, you can't. It's not the same. But he's back now. He's got a couple of games under his belt, and they're looking sharp. He's dropping dimes right now. So I like the Dolphins to win that game outright, and I'm going to tease it with a couple of other teams maybe, and bring that 50 down, maybe 6 points.
What's up, Michael, man?
Hey, Mike.
Gentlemen, how you doing?
How you doing, sir?
Not bad. Having a great day so far.
Dude, we got the Panthers money line against the Giants.
I'm ready.
Those poor
I am
German
ready.
people.
Dude. Okay, so I just want to be on record. The NFL should just force both teams to forfeit this game. It's one thing for Panthers fans and Giants fans to have to endure watching their team, but the good people of Germany do not deserve to watch this the one time they get to watch football all year. I think it's pretty messed up on the NFL side of things. I don't know how you all feel about it, but that's my take. Just want to put that out there.
We shouldn't be playing international games, by the way. Like, let us have something. Like, the fucking country's falling apart. Like, let us have something. But
let us have football.
Something is weird with this game too. It reminds me of the Jets versus Texans and what Vegas knows, because this game opened up with the Giants at 4, giving 4. Now they're at 6.5. I mean, is there some injury I don't know about? Is there some kind of like fairy dust gets sprinkled on the Giants offense that I don't know about? But I don't know how how they could be favored by a touchdown by any team, any team in the NFL. I don't care if they're
Chris,
playing.
Look at the pushback I got on Patreon last week about the Commanders over the Giants. Look at the pushback you got and we got, like, rightly so. Rightly
Well, you know
so.
what happens when
we had the Eagles.
When the Commanders have to throw a Hail Mary to beat the Bears, that puts a sour taste in people's mouth, and they don't want to bet on the next
But they dominated the game, Chris.
Because people don't understand football. They only understand the score. They look at the score, the final, and they go, "Oh, well, yeah, but what about the intricate parts of the game? Did they dominate the line of scrimmage? Who was open? Who wasn't?
I also think Vegas is showing way too much disrespect for the Panthers, and I'm the biggest Panthers detractor than anybody. But even last week against the Saints, Saints had no business being 7-point favorites in that game.
You called the shot on Patreon.
Yeah, I said if there's gonna be a big upset this week, it's gonna be the Panthers against New Orleans, and I was right. And I think this is a good time to go that train again. Lawson, I know you've gotten a lot of crow over this, but I'm gonna stand by it. This is a good bet. Even if I'm wrong, it's a smart bet.
I agree. I'll let you guys talk, Mike, you were right. Listen, I thought you were fluffing a little bit before I watched Bryce against the Broncos. I thought you were fluffing a little bit. But Bryce Young actually had 2 decent performances in a row. And some of the throws, Chris, he made against the Saints in the second half were actually nice, as crazy as that sounds. And I'm just saying, I think I think there's more issues with the Giants than Daniel Jones. I don't know about you guys. Like, beating up on Daniel Jones is easy. Like, I do it, but I think there's other issues with the Giants. I'll let you guys talk.
I really,
I agree.
I think the Giants are going to win the game. I don't think they're going to cover. I don't think they're going to cover the spread. But I think the Giants' defense is a lot better than than a lot of people are thinking right now. I think that the offense has been so shitty that the defense has taken some plays off here and there, which is easy to do when you suck like that. But I think the Giants are going to win this game. I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on him, on the kid, and I think I'm drawing a blank now. The rookie
But
receiver.
we're on a long shot, Chris. Like, I mean, yeah, like this is long shot.
Oh,
stats.
Neighbors, right? Neighbors, right? I think he's going to have.
Yeah,
a day.
Neighbors is awesome. But
So let me count a second. So I kind of agree. I think this is either going to be a Giants blowout or a Panthers like 3-point win. I don't see any in between scenario where like the Giants win but Panthers cover. This is going to be a narrow Panthers win or the Giants is going to completely destroy them. Like that's how I see it. And I think the Panthers actually match up very well with New York. You look at the trenches and, you know, the Giants have one of the best pass rushing defensive lines in the NFL, but Carolina's offensive line is very underrated. I think they're bottom 3 in sacks right now, in like sacks allowed right now. They're doing a great job pass protecting, and I think that's the reason you're seeing the resurgence of Bryce Young here a little bit. I understand that you never want to bet on the Panthers, but I think the Giants are in far more disarray than Carolina is at the moment. Did I lose you guys?
I kind of agree. No, I hear you. Like, I'm just saying, Chris. Chris, did you watch any of that Commanders game?
Yeah, I watched almost all of it.
Dude, did you? Firstly, Commanders could have beat them by 30. Secondly, there's a vibe problem with the Giants. And like you said, taking plays off. Did you see that? Like, I made Mike Mann watch the game, so he knew what I was talking about. I just felt like the Giants like weren't even like in the game competitive wise on defense. And like their run defense is shit. Like, I know the Commanders are great at running the ball, but fuck, man, like neither of these teams can stop the run, and I feel like Carolina can run it. But that's where we're
as a pass rush. That's what they're all about. They can apply pressure on the quarterback, the Giants D. But you're right. They're stopping the run is an issue for them, and if you want to control the clock, that's what Carolina's going to have to do. If they want to have a chance of winning this game.
Are you going to wake up early and watch it?
I'm not going to. No.
I may not be.
I'll catch probably the tail end of it because they get home at like 2:00 in the morning, and I have PTSD from the Army, so like I'll get up, I'll sleep about 3 hours a night, but it's around that time is when I get my biggest sleep because I'm up most of the night. I'll probably be up by 11 though, and I'll probably catch like the second half of it, towards the end of the game before I go to work.
So let me say one more thing about this game. No matter who you think is going to win, whether you think the Giants are going to blow us out, whether you think the Panthers are going to win by 2, like I think the fundamentals of betting Panthers money line is very sound. Like, when you have 2 atrocious teams playing each other that are the same record, that have, granted the Giants are a little more talented, but 2-2-7 teams, one is completely like dead in the water, the other one has a little bit of morale. I don't see why the team that's dead in the water is 7-point favorites. Like, and there's a lot of potential there for an upset, if that makes sense.
But that's why I'm saying, why is Vegas doing that? Like, why are they doing that? Like, there's a reason.
Get it.
Like,
this is
because
like
big bettors like the Giants. But
here's easy money. Here, guys.
No, but they like the Giants, man. Like, there's big bettors that like the Giants. Like, look at everyone who was telling us they would beat the fucking Bengals. Like, it's just.
Yeah. It reminds me, like I said, about the Jets game against the Texans. This is what it reminds me of.
It's helping us out though, because now we have plus 250 odds when we're betting Panthers money line.
Yeah,
which is what. This is like, listen, how do I put this? This is like if you're a single 5'1" dude at the bar, and you see the 10 out of 10 sitting by herself. Like, are you gonna get rejected if you go talk to her? Probably. But is it going to be worth it if it works out? Absolutely. It's the same thing here. Like the odds are so good that we cannot pass it up. There's too good an opportunity here to just let it go. So this is why we're betting Panthers money line. If we go down the ship, that's fine.
Are you gonna throw 50
on that?
You gonna throw 50 on?
Throw a 50, throw like 30, throw a 20. But the odds are so good that we cannot let this opportunity go.
Yeah, I did it already. It's just I can't post on Patreon because people aren't mature enough to do it. The European viewers, they're fine with like taking a plus 250. Like they can do the math in their head. The Americans, like, yeah, they can't wrap their head around. So
see, I think people are gonna keep betting on the Giants. So I recommend putting this in at the last minute.
Yeah, I actually agree because that's what Chris was saying. Like
it'll be 9 by Sunday. By Sunday, it'll be 9. You know.
No, the way it's going, like, listen, when me and Mike talked about it, like, we'll move on to the next game, and I think I got some Patreon questions, but we'll move on to the next game you guys want to talk about. But when me and Mike talked about it, like, we kind of were guessing the spread, and we guessed like 4.5, 5.5, which is what Vegas opened up at, which makes sense. Like, data proves, like, that's what the data says as well. And then it just gets up like to 6.5. And like 6.5 has been a killer this year if you're laying points. Like it's been a killer. So I just want everyone to remember that before you bet the Giants.
Yeah, beware.
Well, yeah. All right, yeah. What game you guys want to talk about?
Okay, let's Vikings Jags. I love the Vikings. I think that is a money pick waiting to happen right there.
Yes, sir.
But with the
Trevor
7,
Lawrence going against that. Is it 7?
No, Lawrence is out.
Yeah,
Matt Jones is playing, Mike.
Yeah, I got it at 4.
When did that come down?
I got mine in on what was it? Like 2 days ago. As soon as it came out, I put my money on it straight up, and heavy too. I got it at 4. I love it.
Oh, lucky you got.
Yeah, I'm loving that pick.
Still, I think this is a Vikings blowout waiting to happen. You mean to tell me that Mac Jones is going to be able to decipher Brian Flores' defenses?
It depends if they're playing prevent or not. You know.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm saying. Jags have been running the ball pretty good this year. Last week, I felt like the Jags ran the ball pretty good against the Eagles, but they've been running it pretty good the whole year. I just don't think they're going to be able to run it. And then Mac Jones is just going to get fucked.
Yeah, I think the Vikings are going to blow them out.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Mike. Like,
the 7's good. I would still play it.
Mac Jones is bad too, guys. Like, so
I remember him from the East.
He's really bad.
Yeah, he sucks.
Like,
Even
and his arm's so weak. So, yeah, man.
I think we agree the Vikings are going to blow them out.
Yeah. It's just tough to lay 7 at Jackson.
He just said.
So tease it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. There's lots of good teasers. I'm going to have Lauren. I'm going to use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Right.
And thank you for the super chat, Chico. Thank you, my man. $10 from Chico. Appreciate it. I'll be right back.
What's up?
What's up?
I'm literally ready to stick glass in my eye. I'm ready to stick glass in my eye after listening to 20 minutes of the Giants and the Panthers on Sunday morning in Germany.
We went overboard on that one, maybe.
Who cares? Like,
money everywhere.
Like, you know what?
I won't even get up for that damn game. I won't.
I rewatched this last week, the live call-in show, and I sat there and listened to you talk for 10 minutes about how the Saints were gonna win and cover against the Panthers, and how the Panthers suck and they had no shot winning that game. And
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely, and they really didn't. We had over 400 yards of offense and lost, and you guys had like 2.
See, like, well. It was literally a battle of which coaching staff wanted to lose more. Like,
you were the one who said
you said
it yourself. You said you guys were going to lose. You sent me a text saying that.
I thought with
I
Carr
said on
back they were going to
Patreon
win
that
that
there
game.
was.
What?
I said on Patreon if there was going to be one upset, it was going to be that one.
Listen, listening to this whole damn freaking Giants Panthers, like I would rather stick glass in my eyes right now. Like I literally have no opinion. I give 2 F's about it. I won't get up for it. I'm not
Well,
even.
what
I
about
won't
Falcons
watch it.
Saints? What about
I will
Falcons
check.
Saints?
I'm not gonna. Every now and then you see a game between like 2 really bad teams that just goes bananas and is like the best game of the week.
This
Like I remember when the Giants.
No chance that this is the best game of the week. Neither team is going anywhere. The only
I remember
reason
Giants.
anyone's watching it is because it's going to be the only game on, and it's the damn overseas Europe game, and they pretty much fucked them by giving them these 2 teams. I mean, here you go, Germany. Have fun with this one.
It's bad.
Which Giants messed up.
Horrible. Couldn't be 2 worse. Literally, the London and like all the overseas games have been like trash. I think we watched New England and was it Tennessee? I don't remember who the hell played in London. Jacksonville in New England, Jacksonville and Minnesota.
Yeah,
I don't
Jacksonville and New England. And Jacksonville and the Bears.
Oh, Jacksonville. Yeah, that was another barn burner. Literally, this is a real blockbuster hit, guys. I mean, the Carolina Panthers and the New York Giants has got to be the best blockbuster hit I've seen all year. Fuck that. No, this game is atrocious. I'm not going to get up for it. The only thing I'll check is to see how I have 1 player. I have neighbors on my fantasy.
Okay, no one wants to hear about your fantasy team. Okay,
that's it. That's all I'm going to check. Okay, I'm just telling you how I listened to this dumpster fire of a game for 20 minutes in my car. It was horrible.
No, I get it. It's anyways. Talk about the game you want to bet, Lauren.
I am very, very high on San Fran this week. Coming off a bye, Tampa's got a short week, and let's be honest. I mean, we know Baker's making plays to what he's got to work with, so kudos to him. But that team can't freaking cover anybody. They can't cover anybody. Their secondary is trash. If CMC, from what I'm understanding, is coming back, Devo's going to be there. I think Juwan Jennings is playing. The team is getting healthy. This screams San Fran versus Jacksonville last year all over again. They were on like a 2-game losing streak. They went into the bye. They got healthy. And they went over to Jacksonville, and Jacksonville was getting points, and everybody was hammering Jacksonville because San Fran was on this like 2-game losing streak. They lost to Cincy and like somebody else last year, and Jacksonville lost by like 30. And quite frankly, this line is 5, I think.
I got it at 5.
5, me too. Okay, so I am hammering the shit out of the 49ers this week. That is my biggest bet.
I like the 49ers.
To add to your point as well, you can look at the last few times these teams have played. Kyle Shanahan has Todd Bowles' number. Like, he has completely owned this matchup the last few times they've played.
It's 6.5 now.
I believe it. I got it at 5.
I don't know. It was never at 5, guys.
Yeah.
I got it at 5. I got it.
It opened at 5
when I was looking at it.
It opened at 5.
Bet US.
But me and Michael Mann talked about it on like Monday night. It was at like 6 on it. All right, I'm
pretty sure it opened. I'm sure I got it at 5.
Anyways, yeah, go on.
You try Bet US. Bet US had it at 5.
Gotcha.
So is anyone else betting the Lions against Houston?
Yeah, I am.
I think that 3.5 is a gold mine.
I got him at 3.5. Yeah, I mean that's one of my money picks.
Nobody's playing better than the Lions right now, and that's also a dome, right? So this whole is Nico Collins coming back?
Yeah, he's back.
Really?
I don't know if he's gonna play. Like from what I was reading today, it's a game time decision.
Fantasy has him not playing.
Yeah,
really? They have him out?
because his practice window was opened just today.
CBS.
So he might play though, but I was concerned about it.
I don't care if he plays or not. I think the Lions will blow him out. So.
Yeah, I love a Detroit blowout here.
Yeah, 10 points at least.
Yeah.
Jerome just said you were asking about me and you wanted my best bet. I just said it. If you didn't hear it, it was San Francisco. I mean, I'm probably going to lay the biggest bet I have all year on San Fran. Me personally.
See, I'm surprised you're doing that. Like, I agree with you, but with how well Tampa has played to stay in these games, I don't know if this is like a college fun game.
Yeah, it's not college fun. Like this.
I didn't say that. Like I said, it's probably one of the biggest bets I've made all year, but one of them. Like, and it's because Tampa can't cover anybody. You know what I mean? They can't cover shit, and the defense of San Fran's getting healthier. If you mean to tell me Devo's going to be there, he's healthy. Juwan Jennings will be back. You mean to tell me Christian McCaffrey's going to be back, and they still got the other kid and Kittle. You mean to tell me you don't think San Fran's going to put 30-something points up on this team?
I'm just surprised at how good the Bucs offense still is, with all the injuries,
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're doing such a good job on offense. Like, I could see them getting, like, a garbage time touchdown to stay in it.
And San Fran's not like San Fran's defensive line's not the same. And Tampa Bay has one of the best offensive lines in the league. Like, I agree with you. It's just 6.5 for me.
Yeah, that's just a lot of points to lay on a team that's constantly staying points.
For this version, San Fran, but I get the fundamentals though. Like Shanahan off a bye week, like everyone's saying, like, oh, Tomlin off a bye week, don't do it. I don't know, like Shanahan off a bye week scares me. So.
You know what else? You know what else scares me? And I was all over this at first. I love the Eagles to destroy Dallas, but like I kind of worry about a garbage time touchdown ruining our spread. Because no one's
I like under in the game though. So.
Yeah, no one's stat pad's better. Even with
Cooper
Rush.
42. We got it at 42. The over under 42.
For me, it was like 40.
Aren't we playing Cooper Rush?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you guys have seen what Dallas has been doing the last few. They're awful. They're another team that's bad.
I see like 34-10.
Yeah. Something like that? Sure.
34-14.
Right. There's your garbage time. You get to 14.
That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing.
I don't know.
Even if Dak was there, I'd see it.
But look at how many games they've done this in. Look at their ass kicked.
Yeah, but you don't even have Dak.
They'll get their ass kicked for 3 quarters and then. I know, but I mean, Cooper. You can look a few years ago. Cooper Rush did the same shit when he got in. Like he did the same thing to the Eagles like 2 years ago.
You don't like 7 points? 7 points is too much.
There's no run game in Dallas whatsoever. Okay, 0 run game, and Saquon Barkley is going to absolutely torch them. Alvin Kamara did it with Micah Parsons.
No, I agree. So, it's just I like the way the Eagles' defense is trending.
No shit, they've gotten better.
Yeah,
they're just a better team than they were when the season started. They're a better team now.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not taking points with Dallas.
Oh.
Here's what Dallas should be doing. This is what they should be doing. Their season's over. They should be playing Trey Lance to see what they have out of him, to see if they can get any draft ability for him. That's what they should be doing.
100%. I cannot agree with you more.
You guys are nuts. He threw 5 interceptions in the preseason game. That's
correct. So if they can't get anything for him, then that's what I'm saying. Like that was the preseason, and he sucked. So right now they're like, well, we don't have shit. If they think there's a prayer that they're going to come into this and somehow get to the playoffs, they're delusional. So
see, I agree with you, but I think Mike McCarthy's fighting for his job, and I think that's why he doesn't want to do it. But I'm with you. Like they should logically put Trey Lance in there. Like, that makes the most sense.
Absolutely should put Trey Lance in there. Because here's the thing: if something happens to Cooper Rush, you're down to Trey Lance anyway. Like, so, in my opinion, though, honestly, you should see what you can get out of Trey Lance. If you guys have been working with him now for this long, and seeing what you have out of him, see if you can get something out of him. There's plenty of dumpster fire quarterbacks right now that are on thin ice. Somebody might think they can turn him into something and give you something worth a damn in a draft or a player, maybe a wide receiver other than CeeDee Lamb. Like, you know what I mean? So
but listen. If the guy doesn't deserve to play, he doesn't deserve to play. Like, we can't do what the Browns did, putting DTR in front of Jameis Winston.
See, but
that locker room is already cooked for Dallas. Like, I get what you guys are saying. It's like not Moneyball. It's not baseball. Like,
the real problem with Dallas is Jerry Jones. Everybody knows that. He's got to go.
I mean, listen, they already shot themselves in the foot by not taking Derrick Henry for $8 million in the offseason.
Yeah,
because they thought he was not worth it and washed up and too old. Okay, Baltimore's laughing in your face.
Not only that, they waited for the last minute to pay Dak. They could have got him a lot cheaper. They were penny pinching with him, and then they waited, and then they paid him, I don't know what, $10 million more than they needed to.
More than they were going to. Right? Absolutely.
That's all Jerry Jones. He's an idiot.
What's so funny about that? They made the same mistake when they re-signed him initially 4 years ago. Like, they did the exact same thing and waited till the last minute to sign him. But Dallas is gonna Dallas. Jerry's gonna Jerry.
He's an idiot. I can't stand them.
Yeah,
no, the crazy thing.
And listen. Oh, go ahead.
No, go on, Lauren.
I would love to be a fly on the wall for the conversation that occurred between Dan Morgan and Jerry Jones to send Jonathan Mingo to the Cowboys.
That's what I was going to talk about. Johnny Dunn's mad at Johnny Dunn's butt broke.
Okay,
I don't even know what they're gonna do with this guy. Like,
all I'll say is, listen, you guys know, like, I damn near popped a blood vessel going against Jonathan Mingo a few weeks ago. So it's a good thing that video was deleted, or I don't think that would have happened. Like, Jonathan Mingo is the worst receiver I have ever seen.
And that's who you guys got for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to talk about it. I hate that guy. Yeah. God, he's out of here.
Way to go, Carolina.
Yeah, way to go. That might be our best achievement of the year.
Nice job.
That might be our best achievement of the entire season. Trading Jonathan Mingo for a 4th-round pick. Like, that is legendary.
It is.
Did you guys see KC is down to like 7.5 against the Broncos?
Against Denver?
Yeah.
Wow, KC can't cover a spread. They can't cover a spread. They barely.
I got them at 9 when it opened up.
So yeah, I mean, it's
why bother?
A big drop.
And do you even get good?
This week. I teased them down, and I made money on them this week.
Do you even get good like lines with them laying 7.5? Because they won't do it. Like, they don't cover.
Nope.
They didn't cover against Tampa. They didn't cover against the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? They don't cover against teams that actually have a decent record or subpar.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs take like a 10-point loss to a good team in a few weeks.
They need to lose.
Mike, like we were talking about on Instagram, they don't even play that many good teams. Who do they
got?
Oh,
but they got Buffalo. They have Buffalo next week.
Yeah, but like Lauren, they finished the season. They play 3 teams. They play the Steelers, they play the Bills, and then they play the Chargers. So that's all they got. Maybe they got the Jets, but I'm not sure. Like, that's all they have. That's easy.
They play the Panthers in 2 weeks too, so I can't wait for that.
Well, one of those teams need to beat them. They need to at least have one loss before the season ends. So
I know, right? Yeah. It's getting crazy. I don't know, guys. Like I said, I don't like going on about like the refs because we just have to say it. Like, I even said, like, I picked the Bengals last night because I felt like there would be a lot of flags. And then like we see the way that game ends, like there's no consistency at all. But
they missed a face mask twice and holding at the end there, and I don't understand how that got through.
Well, they got one face mask, but it was for the other team.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Guys, I'm gonna have to bow out because I got to go back to work.
Yeah,
But,
got you, Chris.
Good seeing you, buddy.
But I'll see you guys next week. Okay.
Good seeing
All
you.
right, see you, Chris.
All right.
Bye, Chris.
Okay, so Lauren, how are you feeling about the Saints and Falcons this week?
I mean, I never really bet my team. Are they at home, the Saints?
Yes, but because
Huh?
like when Lawson and I talked on Monday night, we were hoping that game would open at like Saints +5, and we were ready to bet it.
Bet who?
The Saints.
Why?
At home against the Falcons, a team that constantly lays eggs, against a Saints team that just fired their head coach. Like, yeah, we like that.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that we have going on, right? We have an interim coach. We have a new guy right now. Dennis Allen finally got fired. We had to pull the rally like you did to get your dude fired. We had to have the Saints rally to get rid of Dennis Allen.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, by losing to the Panthers, the Dennis Allen finally gets fired.
You should get a Bryce just for doing that.
Huh?
You should get a Bryce Young jersey just because he got Dennis Allen fired. I think that would be hilarious.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay, yeah.
So is it 3.5? 3 and a hook?
Yeah, it's 3.5.
It's appealing because it's definitely appealing. So you know what I'm saying? At home, the Falcons are. I mean, I think Drake London's hurt, which concerns me for the Falcons actually, because he's a really big target of theirs. But again, we lost like Olave. Like I was really concerned about Olave last week. Like he was on a stretcher.
He was down for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was having like flashbacks of Hamlin. So
yeah, I thought they were going to stop the game at one point.
I was a little concerned, and even when the Panthers fans are over there, like surrounding him, and like they were concerned. Like there was like 3 Panther players that had like tears in their eyes.
Yeah,
and
really nasty
that, huh?
It was a really bad injury.
Yeah, so
that didn't get talked about enough.
Huh?
That did not get talked about enough.
No kidding, right? There's and even still to this day, all week, like no one's really talking about it. So I don't even know what happened to him. So I don't think. I mean, they said he had movement. He went to a local facility, a local hospital, and they said he had movement in like all of his, areas that was important. So that's a good sign. I don't think he'll be playing this week, though, right? So
no, they're going to IR him.
Yeah, they're going to have to. So now we've lost Shaheen, we've lost Olave, we've lost any, deep threat that we've got. I don't know who we're throwing. I mean, listen, if you can incorporate Taysom Hill, he's like a truck. He can run through anybody, right? But so you've got him and Kamara. You're going to have to pretty much make Kamara a receiver. You know what I'm saying? So, which he's a pass-catching running back anyways. But you're going to have to incorporate a lot of Taysom Hill this week. And I don't know who else. I don't know who else. There's really...
Okay, so safe to say you're not on the Saints winning.
I'm just not on the game.
Okay.
I don't feel like... I feel like there's too many,
variables.
Yeah, too much extreme, because I would know, if it was a sure bet against the Saints that the Falcons were so good that they were going to be okay, I would jump on the Falcons, but I just watched what they did against Seattle 2 weeks ago and how Kenneth Walker just ran through them like COVID. You know what I mean? So, I mean, who thinks that? What makes you think Kamara can't do that?
Exactly, yeah. And that's what we were thinking. But if the spread's...
But then again, who are we throwing to? So, like, I'm concerned on the throwing aspect. And then I'm like, well, they can definitely push the run on the Falcons and they'll probably be fine because we know Kamara can do that. And we know that Taysom can do that. So if we're just going to run through them all day, okay, we can maybe cover or maybe even win. But if we have to throw the ball, I don't know who we're throwing to. I just don't.
Fair enough.
And we traded away Lattimore. So, I know now there's no Drake London. Who Lattimore would have been covering, okay, on Atlanta. So there's no Drake London. You're going to have Pitts, who is anemic and then plays, and then anemic and then plays. And then you're going to have this guy they got from Chicago or somewhere, the guy that that caught the winning touchdown against Tampa the first time. Came out of nowhere. So they might have to utilize him, but they're running thin in some areas too, the Falcons. So
it's a tough game.
That's a really tough game. That's just kind of even if, I'm not, like I said, I'm a fan of the Saints, so I try not to bet them, but even if I wasn't, it'd kind of be a stay away game.
Yeah, I don't think it's that easy like everyone's saying.
It's really not, because there's too many variables on both sides.
I think that's the lesson to take from it. I tried to get it at -1 on Patreon, and then it moved so quick that at 3.5, it's not even worth it, because I love the Falcons, but like you said, they're inconsistent to say the least. So
yeah, that's just it. They're inconsistent, and with Drake London being out, that's a big blow for the Falcons.
Exactly.
That's a huge blow.
So sorry, changing subjects here. So, Lawson, I'm surprised you changed your pick on Patriots-Bears.
Yeah, man, I'm worried about some of the stuff I'm seeing out of Chicago. I agree with you. People were echoing your statement about the home road splits for Chicago, and I think that's relevant. And I don't want to be too dramatic, but also, man, I just can't make that a money pick. I couldn't bet that game. So I don't know.
On it? I
say that again?
You won't even throw a little bit on it? I get it. It's not anytime you bet a 6.5, 7-point spread, you don't want to throw the house on it. But I think that there's a very good chance the Bears just crush them. If we can just get a little bit of decent quarterback play out of Caleb Williams, they'll win this game pretty easily. If you think Tennessee's defense is good, the Bears' secondary is a lot better.
It's really good.
Yeah, they played bad last week, but still, I think there's a good formula where Drake May doesn't have anyone open, and he's forced to throw in a coverage, and you get some turnovers that way. And as long as Caleb Williams can do something against this trash Patriots defense, they should win and cover without issue.
But and Kenny, I'm worried about him.
How many points is that?
6.5.
For the Bears to cover?
Yeah, it's a lot of points to lay with them. I know the Patriots suck, but
yeah, I don't.
Mike's probably right about that, but I don't know, man. It's almost like a Panther situation for me. I know I keep saying maybe Patriots are a long shot, but I just feel like Drake May's a lot better than Caleb Williams, and I don't think I'm being dramatic. I didn't think Drake May would be ready. By the way,
I don't mind Drake May at all. I don't mind Drake May. And here's the thing with Drake May is that team loves him. His players love him. So they love him. And they are giving, have you not noticed? They're giving 150% effort out there compared to what was happening in the beginning of the season. They love him. So
well, that's what I'm saying, Lauren. And we also have been hearing out of Chicago this whole year how much Caleb's one of the guys. They make it clear to put that out to us. It's almost political, and it's I don't think he is. So
yeah.
I think it's relevant. I know that's not science or schematics, but I'm Michael Mann was right about. He was one of the few people who agreed with me about Caleb Williams in the preseason. He holds the ball too long, and it's not getting fucking better.
Well, even in college, he did that. Like, that's not a new thing. He was doing that last year at USC, and no one talked about it. No one talked about how this guy was not ready to operate an NFL offense.
Mike, they act like he's so athletic. He's not even that athletic. Yeah. They act like they talk about him like he's fast like Mike Vick.
Which is why I was way higher on Daniels than I was Caleb coming into the season.
Like, I watched preseason, I was like, Jaden Daniels is better.
Way better. And it was blatantly obvious. Blatantly obvious.
But they were glazing Caleb Williams the whole preseason. I don't
know why. I don't know why, because if you're watching the same shit I was watching in preseason, it was a clear path that Jaden Daniels was way better.
But Lauren, and here's the thing, like, I know people are like low effort and they don't want to watch a preseason game, but like, remember that play, those 2 plays he made against the Bengals? Those were third stringers, and they had their first stringers in the whole first half. Like, he's doing it against XFL guys, and like Mike even told me, like, those were like third stringers, bro. And I don't know, man. It was bad, and they built him up to destroy him. I know that's like kind of what they do in the media. Like, they want to just kind of build him up to destroy him. But when I saw RG3 glazing him, I was like, bro, I gotta get against that. Like,
I wasn't on him. I've never been on him. I still don't think he's that good.
Well, I also think he's there. In his defense, he is a terrible coaching staff. Like, I don't think the Bears coaching staff is doing all that to develop him. But yeah, he is bad.
No, I don't think the coaching staff is great. It's just, I don't think that's like the big issue, Mike, because he has reads, like, people are open. He's got stacked skill positions. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I get you. I get it. But I'm just saying, as a Panthers fan who's watched his coaching staffs destroy 3 separate quarterbacks who are now balling elsewhere, like, I'm just saying, like, staffs matter is the point I'm trying to make here. And, but you know who else is a terrible coaching staff? The New England Patriots. I don't know.
Yeah, Jared Mayo. How did he lose that game against the Titans?
Dude, okay, I don't know how many of y'all watched that Patriots-Titans game.
I watched.
But, oh my God, that was one of the ugliest things. That was almost worse than our game, Lauren. Like, that game was atrocious. You had 18 combined penalties. The game seemingly never ended. And, of course, it went to overtime to make it worse. Like, that game was terribly played by both sides. Like, I cannot...
Let me tell you something. Every time I turned over to that game, it was a whistle and a flag.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
It was a whistle, flag, 10-yard penalty, 5-yard penalty, still second down. I said, how is this game not even to halftime yet?
Yeah.
Every game had gone to halftime, and that game was still only halfway to the second quarter.
Yeah.
Really?
Whatever. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, yeah, any last words? Because I got to go get this back in.
So we're all talking, right? Like, aren't we isn't Lawrence out? And we're going to see freaking Mac Jones?
Yeah.
So I had already gotten Mini -4. I feel so good about it that I'm ecstatic about it right now. So on top of San Fran, I'm high on Mini. And I wanted y'all's opinion on this Jets game.
Okay, I'm sitting the hell out. Jets and Cardinals might be like the 2 most inconsistent teams in the league. I can't believe you guys are like trying to invest in this. Like, this is crazy.
Cardinals have been winning.
Well, they've been winning, but they have certainly had a few times where they've just shit the bed and not shown up.
And then so Lawson, are you on the Jets?
Yeah, I really like the Jets this week. The more the week's going on. Yeah.
Really? Okay. Because I have no read on it, so that's why I was asking. And then here's the next thing. I was listening to the beginning of this show when I first turned it on, where the beginning for me. Miami is a no damn fly zone for me. I hate that team. Okay? I don't know why you guys are all pounding Miami when all they do is let down every week. I'm not touching them. I told you I don't touch them to begin with, but I damn sure ain't touching them now. So I need you to make it make sense for me. I need you to make it make sense for me on why Miami is going to win against the Rams.
Okay, let me start with a question. Did you watch? I'm sure you watched the Rams last week, and I'm sure you followed the Patreon because I know you like.
I played the Rams.
Got you.
I had a heart attack that game, by the way.
Yeah. And I don't think we were lucky to win. I felt like it was a deserved win, even as crazy as it was.
I've never seen a game turn around like that in overtime. But anyway, continue.
But yeah, it was crazy. It was a deserved win because that's what Seattle does. And like we talk about getting against coaching staffs like Gerard Mayo and getting against Callahan in Tennessee, like getting against McDonald in Seattle. It's every week for me. And I don't fucking care about taking that L against the Falcons because every other week I bet against the Seahawks. It's been good. So here's what I'm looking at with Miami. There are some things I'm concerned with. For instance, look at Tua's spray charts these last two games. Everything's underneath. He did hit one deep ball to Tyreek in each game, but both were severely underthrown. And if he would have thrown it a little bit better, it would have been a touchdown. But with that being said, Miami's getting the run game going. Yes, this Rams defensive line's looking really good, but that is a little bit deceiving because have the Seahawks blocked anyone this whole year? I don't think so. So I'm looking at Miami just being the more consistent offense. Also, Lauren, you were on the Rams against Minnesota. Why do you think the Rams beat the shit out of Minnesota's defense? I'll tell you my reason why. It's because they were able to run the ball. I was very concerned that the Rams weren't able to run the ball against the Seahawks because everyone's been running it against them. And if you can't run it against the Seahawks, I'm concerned. So I just feel like maybe this Rams thing has reached its concern. Like Johnny Guns is saying, on Patreon, he thinks the Rams can win the NFC West. I kind of agree, but that's more an indictment on San Fran. I'm just not sure the Rams win this game. So,
yeah, I think just look at the matchups on the outside. Like, look at these receiver cornerback matchups on both sides of the ball, and I think they heavily favor Miami without question. And I think that's a big part of this game.
Yeah. So I'll let you respond, Lauren. Like, I just think Miami's defense been good against the run the last 3 weeks. Now that could be deceiving, but they stopped Arizona's run game. It was all Kyler Murray. So
yeah. So I'm just concerned that with as healthy as the Rams are now, and listen, Tua's back, right? Why is Tyreek still getting like less than 50 yards a week?
That's a good question because he's been open deep, and like I said, like the balls are underthrown, and they're coming out so quick that I don't know why the Bills didn't make more of an adjustment.
Like I literally feel like if he is back to being back to being Tua, there's literally Tyreek should be getting minimum 80 yards a week and a hell of a lot more catches. And I don't even know. If he could be targeting, he's just not catching anything, or what's happening there because Tyreek is a big part of that offense with Tua, and he's in the last 2 weeks. The first week Tua was back, Tyreek had under 20 yards. Last week he had under like 40.
Well, I don't know about that. Because Tyreek had like more than 20 yards on one catch against Zone.
No, not the first week. The first week he had 1 or 2 catches, and literally it was not more than 25 yards.
Who was it against? It was against Zona. Like not Lauren. Like it wasn't. He didn't go off, but like he had like a 30-yard catch. But either way, like I agree with you. Like it's like in the 50, 60-yard range, which isn't good enough.
He had 2 catches the first week, and then last week he was like under 50.
I also like Tua's been good, but you've seen the rust count a little bit, missing those deep balls. I think that starts to wear off at some point.
Yeah, or the snap. Like he missed the snap last week as well.
Oh God, that was.
Yeah.
And listen, the Bills as a team, you cannot make mistakes against. You cannot. you cannot make mistakes against a team like the Bills because they will literally obliterate you.
Yep.
And then here's my last question before I sign off and go to poker. Everywhere I'm hearing, everyone is on Indy at home plus these points. Make sense to me because
Lauren, you know how I feel about it. I don't want to give away the Patreon bet, but that was one that just pounded me on Wednesday morning. I'm like, why didn't I make this a money pick? But anyways, yeah, that's a Patreon bet.
Yeah, that one's so good that we didn't even have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, because I can't really see now. Listen, I know that Buffalo's got some wide receiver issues. Amari's out, and I think Coleman's out.
I think
so.
Amari's back. Someone let me fact check that. Go on, Lauren.
Because I feel like they're going to have to do a lot of running, and which they can do. But they have to. I mean, it could be like the Kincaid show, I guess. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Amari Cooper's going to play. Shakir's healthy, so I'm good.
Okay, good.
I'm
So
good with them.
Okay, so if that's the case, like I thought there was something I didn't know about this Buffalo offense that should be steering me off of them. Okay, all right.
Lauren, maybe people were scared of the Colts run game. Like I was scared of the Colts run game last week against the Vikings. But here's a stat. I said it earlier in the show. I said it on Patreon as well. With AR at quarterback, Colts are averaging 5.2 yards per carry. With Flacco at quarterback, 3.2. So hopefully the Bills make an adjustment because the Dolphins gassed them last week. I guess maybe that could be how we lose the battle. So
okay, yeah. Okay, you guys wanted my two favorites, and it was definitely San Fran, and I already laid -4 with Minnie. I would lay whatever it's at right now still with Minnie, but those are my two best bets. And anyways, I'll post my props like I normally do.
Yeah, post your props. Did you go college last week?
I did go college last week, and I was like, I don't know, like 2 of 3 or something. I don't know.
That's fine. Just give them action. We got D-gens. They want to bet. Like they're betting like Chinese basketball. So
when my first bet lost with college, I got mad and stopped watching it. So I don't even really know how it finished, to be honest with you. But I do post. I went crazy on the props last week, and I think we hit like 4 out of 5. So
that's welcome because props are getting tougher. I don't know if you noticed.
No, they are. They are.
I was 4 out of 5 last night too.
That's good. All right, Michael, guys. Man, any last words?
I got to go to poker, but y'all have a good weekend. Good luck.
Great week for degenerate gambling. Great week for degenerate gambling. Between that Jets-Cardinals game that everyone seems to want to bet for some reason, and us laying money line of the Panthers, I think we're going to have a fun week. So I'm excited to see how it goes.
All right, let's go, Mike. Thank you for coming on, bro. Have a good one.
Thank you for having me, man. I'll see you later.
See ya. Make sure you hit the like button. Bets will be up 10:30 Eastern time at latest. We'll have another good soccer one. Last week's soccer one hit. Like, we'll have another one. Specific directions for that. So make sure you check in. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chico, for the super chat. Thank you, Wade, for the super chat. Thank you, Kane, for the super chat. Let's get this money. Go on Patreon, link in the description. Everyone have a good night. Nice talking to you guys. What's up, EA? What's up, CMAC? What's up, JD?